I usually don't make NXT videos or videos going over NXT usually because I feel like people don't really pay attention to NXT even though it's the best brand that WWE has to offer right now. But I just want to talk about Ethan Page. Ethan Page is undeniably one of the best signings in years. He's everything that people on the main roster should be. Now, I say this because a lot of the heels on the main roster are booked so 50-50 to the point where either they get booed and cheered or they just get go away heat, legit go away heat, or they're not being reacted to at all. They just get crickets. Ethan Page is the formula of what heels should be and what heels used to be. You don't get that spark because of how weirdly these heels in the Triple H era are being booked. Like you got heels versus heels, you got faces versus faces, you got heels who feud with other heels. You got heels that are being cheered because they do facious things. You know, no one can really get over as much anymore. So to see Ethan Page do what he does, like his heel work is enjoyable. You know, like a lot of people, like for example, I've seen a lot of heels shake hands with faces on the main roster. You know, and then all of a sudden the heels get cheered by fans, and then all of a sudden the heels doesn't feel like heel anymore. But he's still a heel because he's beating up on the face that you're supposed to be cheering. But the way Ethan Page, it's not like that garbage. Like Ethan Page is able to be a bad guy, so he's able to be booed. He does things. He gets heat, not as much for what he does to the faces, but craps on the audience. He does things like, talk about the audience. He talks about the country. He does all that stuff. Ethan Page is fun to watch. Not a lot of people are fun to watch anymore. A lot of people feel copy and pasted, not, and that has nothing to do with them. It's just what they're being given creatively. They're either being copied and pasted, or they're just being mishandled. Or if they are healed, then they're either looking like an idiot or they're booked to be too cool. So that means that they can't get over either because the fans are cheering them, but they're supposed to be a heel. So what Ethan Page has going on, man, he's so entertaining. I just feel like once he gets to the main roster, there's more opportunity for him to either be ruined or be elevated. Like when it comes to the main roster nowadays, you can only go two directions. It used to be three, but now there's only two. Like only they can either fail you and release you, or you can do great and hopefully, you can get what you deserve as a star, but it's not always like that anymore, and that's unfortunate. Ethan Page is. I wasn't too familiar with Ethan Page. I'd say I saw some of his work when he was I believe he was tag team champions with Josh Alexander. I watched a couple of his matches there in TNA and in AEW, but I never really was interested. But also I just wasn't watching AEW at the time anymore after the fans came back. So he attacks Trick Williams, and then they had their match at NXT Battleground. I wasn't a fan of that match. I think that match was awful. Had nothing to do with Ethan though. It was just the chemistry was off the first time around. And then Ethan Page became the NXT champion, and then he did amazing work. One thing also that is great about Ethan Page is when he's defending the championship, his North American or Canadian championship, he doesn't take years at a time to defend the championship. See, he makes the championship feel important, not because he pizzazed it up, that too, but because the championship feels like something when it's on the line. But also, even if it's not being defended, he's still having matches. He's not just walking backstage with it for 2 months at a time, and we don't see the championship on TV like they do on the main roster. Jade Cargill has been champion for almost 100 days, and she hasn't had one match for it. I remember Io Sky for SummerSlam. Uh, no, not SummerSlam. During the summer last year, she was champion, and she had a match at WrestleMania, and then from WrestleMania to Evolution in July, she didn't defend it once. She went to she was backstage in catering with the championship. Now, it looks really strange if somebody is a champion. They're a champion backstage and they're walking for 2 months, not going to TV, not having matches, not none of that. Just champion with the gold. Not on TV, The main roster doesn't put any effort into the championships. And that's really unfortunate. I don't know, man. Ethan Page is what every heel like. It's a perfect blueprint. I believe WWE would be a lot more fun if his blueprint, for how he does his stuff, was given to everyone else, and then they would be able to put their own spin on it. Like I'll give it a perfect example. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is amazing. Drew McIntyre is what every other heel on the main roster should be. But every other main roster heel, that they're trying to pop the audience, or they're trying to out heel other heels, or they're trying to out face the faces they're fighting, and then they shake hands. But you just talk crap about my family, but let's just shake hands. And then the heels and then the faces are booked to forgive the heels. So I'm like, hey, you just screwed me out of my championship match. But anyways, let's just shake hands after our match. Instantly that instantly derails any type of heat that they once had. I remember Gunther was going around shaking everybody's hand. Like, I remember it was, I think, Bash in Berlin. So Randy Orton's family was called failures by Gunther, and he kept like Gunther was talking so much crap about Randy's family. And after the match, they shook hands. I was like, why are you shaking hands? He just talked about your wife, your kids, and your daddy. And now they're just shaking it. I don't get it, man. And people are like, well, to be fair, he's the ring general. He's gonna shake hands. I don't care if we just had a great match. And people were defending it and saying it's real grabs. He's just respecting him for the grabs. Let '06 Cena shake hands with 2006 Edge. Let Randy Orton and let 2009 Randy Orton shake hands with 2009 Triple H after he kicked Stephanie's face in. No, sorry. RKO'd her and then kissed her. And then they just shake hands. Imagine CM Punk and John Cena in 2011 shaking hands. It's stupid. And people defend it. And people like those fans. The reason why no real heels exist, as much is because the fans enable it too by saying, well, as long as everyone's having fun, that's all that matters. You can have bad guys being bad guys makes it fun. Like every time Dominic would come out and he would get booed whenever he talked, that was fun. Whenever he would try to say two words and then the audience would boo him, that was fun. Bad guys being allowed to be bad guys, that was so fun. And then you just don't see much of that anymore. Like everyone feels the same, bad guy or good guy, because the bad guys are acting like good guys, or the bad guys are being cheered like good guys by the audience because they cheer anyone and anything. It's so. I remember Dominic Mysterio was having a promo with Rey Mysterio after Rey Mysterio got back, and Dominic Mysterio was was being cheered, and I remember the audience was like, "Dirty, dirty Dom, dirty, dirty Dom." They're doing this while Rey Mysterio is being a face to his heel son. Heels, man. I don't know. The only one who does it right, like trolling people, using the internet to his advantage, is Drew McIntyre. He does it perfectly. Everyone else just feels the same, and the audience enables that garbage by just wanting to be involved. It's like the audience has ADHD. It doesn't matter if you're a good guy. It doesn't matter if you tell the audience that they all suck. They'll still cheer you. I remember Gunther. Gunther told the audience they all sucked. He won the world championship, and they said, "You deserve it. You deserve it." He just Gunther just spent a month telling the audience how stupid y'all are. Why are you? I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like the audience is part of the reason why real heels don't really feel like heels anymore. It's not fun anymore, man. It's not. But I don't know. Let me let me know what you think about, well, anything that I said, really. If you agree, disagree, let me know in the comments down below. That's about it, really. Till next time.